Hi elementary art teachers, I'm Amy and I have a lesson for you today that is called a Parfleche. Here is the spelling of a Parfleche, and you see there is one here made from a paper bag. When you begin your Parfleches before class, you will probably want to have some visuals for the students. So search Parfleches so you can see the real ones are rawhide or leather, tanned leather or rawhide. And if you have a chance to get a real one, borrow a real one, do. These are pictures from the internet. You can pull them up on your smartboard or print them for your students. And you'll also want to have the students, give the students something to look at to design their Parfleche. These I found online under Parfleche design pages. And these are great designs. These are Plains Indian designs. Parfleches are usually Rocky Mountain Indians or Plains Indians, but they're all Native American packs. All right, so this is one open like this, and this one was made by my friend Bob, and you can see that it is closed up. Inside, students can keep things, anything small or flat. So you just untie the bows, and when you lay it out, it looks like the others, so that you've got the geometric shapes. And we've worked on the bag, you'll see in a minute, to get it to look like leather. Okay, when you're looking at this one, let me tell you too that these are great for like 3rd through 6th graders. They take a few lessons to do. They take about 6 lessons, and so it takes a little bit of time to do them. Take a look here. These are 11 by 15. So you lay your ruler out and onto a paper bag that's been opened, and sometimes you'll be able to find paper bags at hardware stores. They'll give you paper bags. So the students will open up their paper bag and measure 11 by 15, and then they cut it out, and we take the corners off them like this too, so that we've got more of a Parfleche shape. And then you're going to start designing it. On the very first day, my first grabber is one where they have a chance to not know yet what they're making, but kind of do a little bit of brainstorming. The first day I say, imagine you are in Oklahoma. It's not today though, it's 200 years ago. You are a proud Native American, a Plains Indian of the Cheyenne people. You are planning a trip for the day. You're going to hunt. Your people are hungry. You're searching for food. You are hunting buffalo, but you might see deer or elk as well. It's early in the morning. What will you need to take with you for the day? So the hands go up with things like food and a blanket and all kinds of different weapons and tools. So then I say to them, okay, you have all of this stuff. How are you going to carry it or carry it up onto your horse? And they say, we need a backpack. And that's exactly what these were. Native Americans made these to be their packs. And they typically had a lot of them, small ones, big ones, and then they would also take them and put them in their teepees kind of as decoration storage. This was their luggage as well. So on this first day, you're beginning the designing after you've got the bag open. On the second day, you are designing the whole time. So this will be a good example here of one that you're working on. And Parfleches are always symmetrical, same on both sides, and geometric shapes, a lot of rectangles, triangles, squares. At the most of day 2, you are designing, but the last 10 minutes, have the students all wad theirs up, and they won't want to because they like them and they think it's ruining them. But you wad them up in a ball, get all those really good creases, and then they flatten them out, and they take crayons that have been peeled, like a half of a brown crayon. Different shades of brown are great. And you smear a brown smear using the side of the crayon over the whole Parfleche. And that gets into all the little creases that you just made. I take these home and iron them after that. So when they come back the next day, you've got all of this great texture. Let's look at this one. All that good texture. And so then you're ready to start painting it the next day. And if the students come in on day 3 to paint and they're not ready yet, that's fine. They can draw on top of this textured Parfleche as well. So as far as the painting goes, I start them out with small brushes, like this is a 3, and I give them a demonstration where I'm showing them to be very picky with the edges. This one's a 4th grader Parfleche, and you can see it doesn't have a whole lot of paint, but it's beautiful because they've taken the time. Remember to tell them that not only did they draw them symmetrically, they need to paint them that way too. So these are blue, these are both red. I usually add a paint color a day, and we paint days 3 and 4 and 5. And I just put it out on plates, and they use the colors that they want. Remind them that they need to leave some negative space because it looks like leather. And we use tempera paint for these. It works great. So now you're down to, it's been painted, you're down to the assembling, which is day 6. And so you've got the things to assemble with, which would be yarn or even leather ties, little beads, and hole punches to punch holes. This one is a good example of one that's easy to see. When you're threading this yarn on, see it's just going there and it's coming out the front on both ends. And then the students will need to get some creases in them, crease it really good. And then they're going to turn this down about 1/3 and this up about 1/3. And then these straight across from each other are tied into little bows. They kind of need to play with the creasing so they've got their center of interest right in the middle. Parfleches are great examples of all the elements of design and the principles of design, almost all of them. It's a great talk on that as well. As far as your grabbers on other days, pull up some Native American history from the Native Americans that you are studying or that you want to highlight, and you'll find the tribes that you want, and make it like you and your students would like to make it. But I hope you make a Parfleche. And thank you.